Greetings. It is Tuesday, March 8th, 2011. Let's take a look at the charts. See the 10-minute here? Can't really make a whole lot from that. You can see the daily here. It's dipped down a little bit since it's made its high. So, how can you know? I mean, here's the 1 minute. How can you possibly know what it's going to do? I mean, imagine if you knew if it was going to go higher from here or if it was going to go lower from here. 100 pennies. What would that be worth to you? How important of a secret would that be? Well, I'm going to demonstrate the power of the macro code. And I'm going to see if it will give me a signal. And that way I'll know whether to go for a 100-penny trade. Whether it's going to go up or whether it's going to go down. Now let's say it gives me a signal for a 100-penny trade to go up. Well, I don't know, I might want to go for more than 100 pennies. See, where are we at now? Let's just say it was at 40. That would be 104. 104. Sorry, my mouse is having difficulties. Okay, 104.40, let's say, and the high is 107. So 104, 105, 106. Yeah, I mean that's a 200-penny trade. If I could get a macro code saying it's gonna go higher, I should go for a 200-penny trade because it's likely to come double top up here, come close. So 104, 105, 106.40. I should be able to get that. 106.40 is right there. That's right around the area where it would top to again. So that'd be a good one to go for, 200 pennies. But let's take a look at the daily again. What about if I get a macro code that says it's going to go down? Well, that could be huge, because even though this thing may continue higher than 106, 107, whatever it was. What is the high? High is 107, just about. Even though it very well and probably will go higher than that, it's likely to dip down first. Maybe down to like 100 or so. Maybe even down to like 98 first. And then go back up and then go break the high. So we could get a nice drop. Another 200 pennies. So really from here, I see a 200-penny trade either way. One to go for. Either going up or down. So I'm looking for a signal for the macro code. And if I get one, I'm going to take it, and take it for 200 pennies. And we'll see. I mean, the stronger the signal is, the more I'd be willing to go for 200 pennies. At least go for 100, because that's what it calls for. I just think in the present situation that we're in, with regards to the daily, that if it goes up, it's going to go double top, and if it goes down, there's such a big move downward it could make that it's worth, either way, it's worth going for 200 pennies. So let me pause the video. I'm going to look for the macro code and see if I can't get something tonight. Usually you always can, I just haven't been looking lately, because I got to stay up late for it. But I'll pause the video and see if I can't get something tonight. I'll be back. Pausing the video now. I am attempting to get a reading of the macro code. See the 10-minute here, daily, 1 minute. Attempting to get a reading. The macro code. I have a okay. I have a preliminary reading on the macro code. It is beginning to indicate a buy signal. I'm relatively sure about the buy signal, but I am unsure about the entry. I'm thinking about getting in at 104.25 and then just getting out if it breaks below this. Because if it breaks below this 21, it could take a nice tumble. So it would be a way for me to get in for the ride back up, but take a small loss. Or I can just sit here and wait and watch it. And if this thing doesn't start taking off, but starts to go down, starts to go towards the bottom, which it's starting to do here a little bit, I could just wait. And if it breaks below, I can start to do it now. See? There's no reason to rush it in here, no reason to buy. Just wait and see what happens. Trying to read the macro code again. It is still indicating a buy. Remember now, this is for 100 pennies. I'm getting a macro code signal to buy. It could be stronger though, but we're at the top of a daily chart and I'm getting a macro code signal to buy. This is for 100 pennies too, which I'm gonna go for 200. Okay, I need to know what the low is. The low that it just made is 21. What's the low over here? The low over here is also 21, so it just double bottomed down there. The low is 21. Trying to read the code. Recalculating entry. I estimate 28. 28 approximately. Trying to read the code. The code is unclear right now. The macro code is supporting buy entries. Trying to get an alignment. So far, the signal appears to be on the buy side. Okay. It's getting a little stronger. Okay. Let's see here. Where could I... 27 looks good. I'm going to play conservative. I'm going to go with 28. Putting a buy entry at 28 now. 104.28. Looking at the code. code looks good. I have a macro code. Apparently, so far, it looks to be in place for a buy and for a buy. The secret code is coming into alignment. Waiting for confirmation. This is for a macro code trade for 100 pennies. Although I think I'm probably going to go for 200, but I'd like to see how it acts. How much up does it really want to go? Does it really go up quickly, or does it kind of like not go up very much at all? If it doesn't go up very much at all, I'll probably just go for 100. But if it goes up quickly, I'll put it at 200. Just depends how it acts. Generally though, this would always just be a 100 penny trade. I need entry. Code still looks good. Chance of entry is still well, let's say 50%. Come on. $28 looks just about right on the chart. That's where my entry's at. Checking the code. The code looks good. It is getting stronger. Okay, I am in at 28. The code looks good. Stand by. Checking the code. It looks good. I've got a buy signal. Okay, this is confirmation 2. I've got a macro code and I've got a secret code. Both saying going long. 100 pennies. I've got it set for 100 pennies right now. Got a 20 penny stop on it. 104.08. 104.08. That is confirmed. I've got a 100 penny exit on it. It's at 105.28. Let's go take a look. 105.28. Take a look at the chart. Trying to read the code again. Code looks very good. The code is increasing in strength. I've got a good strong signal. I mean, it's relatively slow out there, but I've got a good strong signal. According to the, I've got two signals. I've got a macro code. I've got a secret code. Both saying it's going to go higher. Macro code is good for 100 pennies. Secret code is good for 20. I've got a 100 penny exit on it. Going for the bigger trade. Now, like I said, if this thing really starts to boogie, and it really starts to, not really like mess around, like let's say, here on the 10-minute, and it goes and breaks this high up here, and then goes and gets to this high, and then just breaks even higher, and it gets out here in this territory, I'm definitely going to put a 200 penny exit on it. Just depends how much up it goes and how quickly. I'm only going to stay up though for another hour maybe. So if it goes up like 100 pennies in that hour, I'll definitely go for 200 pennies for sure. Even if it goes up 75 pennies, I'll go for 200, most likely. But I can also use the code on it. I don't have to just guess. I can use the code all the way. From here, I'll get secret codes to tell me whether it's going to go higher or lower. And the secret codes will have different strength relative strength indicators to them. Some of them can be really super strong. So let's say I get a really strong one that says it's going to go down. Well, might want to get out at that point. Or if I get good ones that say it's going to go higher. Let's say it goes up 90 pennies and then I get a really strong one that says it's going to go even higher. Well, definitely want to change that exit and go for more pennies. So you can use the code all the way through the trade. You don't have to just turn your back on it if you don't want to. But here's the beauty of it. I've already done all the math. This trade right here is what's called a macro code trade. The mathematics on this trade are 100 pennies and has approximately a 60% chance of success. Approximately. Over the long run. I mean, you could probably get on rolls where you hit like, 70% on these. 75%. Like for instance, this particular one is a very good one. It's got a pretty high rating, like about a 70%. The other ones only have like 60%. But they're still very good. You gotta remember that 60% is winning. The other is break even and losing. But when you lose 20 and you make 100, mathematically you come out way ahead. That's why playing the macro code is so great. I will wait till this thing gets out about 20 pennies first. Then I will put a break-even stop on it. That's what this particular code calls for. Otherwise, what will happen mathematically is you'll get stopped out too many times and lose out on those 100 pennies and get your get your stop hit too many times. So you lose 20 too many times and not make 100 too many times. So mathematically, this is how you have to play it. Now, this is not done by any type of back testing. This is done by real testing in real time, day after day after day, night after night after night, year after year after year. This has nothing to do with back testing, nor does back testing work. You say why that is. Well, I don't want to get into that, but believe me, it doesn't work. The mathematics, these trades I'm showing you, these do work. I've tested them personally and test them all the time. They've been working ever since the beginning, and they continue to work. It's the secret in the code. I call it the macro code because it's larger than a 20 penny code. It's a 100 penny code, sometimes 200 penny code. But in my videos, I will reveal you the secret about it and about the 24-hour period code. And how you can master these markets on a 24-hour period basis. And trade these things like a conductor of an orchestra rather than just playing a certain instrument. And take it to a whole new level. Stand by, trying to read the code. Let's see what the code says. The code is no change. I have no change in the code. The macro code is still intact. Everything is intact. I am going to pause this video for a little bit. What's the high up here? See, like, for instance, this is what I was kind of talking about. I mean, if it wants to go up and just break this high quickly, 45 up here, and really just not play around, not play games, and just go here on the 10-minute, you see? And that's the kind of trade I'm looking for. The more it does this over time, over the next hour, the better. So let me pause the video and I'll be back in a little bit to update you on the trade. Pausing the video now. Now, just in case this thing were to come down and double bottom down here to my entry, let's see what that bottom is. That bottom came at 27, 104.27. See that 104.27 is the bottom. So, and my entry was 104.28. Not bad, huh? Not bad. So, but far from being a successful trade yet. Only had like what, 12 pennies? Long ways to go. And by a typical trading situation, we are in a situation where we have a top up here. It doesn't want to get broken. See? See that? And we're also on the 10-minute, we're in a downtrend. See that? Of course, we got a bottom down here. It hasn't gotten broken. So we're in this like range now where we got this top here and this bottom here. So which way is it going to go? Well, the secret code says it's going to go up, and the macro code says it's going to go up. Of course, the secret code actually on that particular one only says it's going to go up 10 pennies. So we were in at 28. We would have got out at 38 on that particular one. However, I was using that as an indicator for the macro code. So not only did I get a secret code, but I got a macro code. So now it could easily just go down, right? Why should it go up? Well, because the power of the macro code, that's why. Pause the video, and I will. And by the way, just in case you're thinking, well, have you done any trading since you last did your last video? I mean, are you not showing the losers? And the answer to that question is, I haven't done any trading since then. I've been extremely busy. I have not gotten a chance to do any trading. You're seeing the first trading that I'm doing. I'll pause the video. I'll be back soon to update you. Okay, this is to teach a little bit. You see it going up towards the top. How can you know if it's going to break or not? Well, guess what? With the power of the secret code, you can know that. And I'm reading the code right now, and I'm going to tell you whether or not it's going to break. The high is 45. The mathematical chances of it breaking are approximately, hold on, let me read the code, stand by, approximately 60%. 60% chance of it breaking 45. Once it does, it's going to shoot higher. 70% chance. Reading the code, 70% chance it's going to break. I have an 85% chance it's going to break. Chance is increasing. I have a 90% chance it's going to break. So if I wasn't in, right now I know there's a 90% chance of this thing breaking. Now, of course, I can have the luxury of just waiting for it to break and then taking the break. But sometimes they can break and really take off so fast that you really don't even have a chance to get in. You see how jumpy it looks? See how it just keeps jumping around? This is what it looks like when it's about to take a real big move, too. There is still a 90% chance of it. I'll reduce it to an 80% chance now. 80% chance of a break. %90 chance of a break. I'm reading the code. I'm able to see what it's going to do. There is a 90% chance of a break. 95% chance of a break. It should shoot up pretty good once it breaks. Sometimes they really shoot up big and sometimes not that much, but there's no real way to know that. This one feels like it should shoot up pretty good. Okay, there's the break. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put my protective stop in place now. My entry is at 104.28. I'll put it at 104.29. Stop will be at 104.29. Taking a look at the code. Yep, it looks safe. 104.29. Applying the stop now. Okay, stop is in place at 104.29 for a protective stop. Looking at the code, is it running? It appears to be running. Where's my exit? My exit is at 105.28. 105.28. Where's that on the chart? 105.28. 105. That's right up here. That's the 10-minute. That looks pretty good. 105.28. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna keep it at 100 pennies because we're such a, you know, I know I'm gonna make excuses for that and everything, but it's just that, okay, here's the main reason why. 104.28, that puts it right here. That's right here on the within range of the 10-minute chart there. Now I might be able to get 200 pennies out of this, and probably even I could, I bet. But I'm just going to go for 100. And that is what the code calls for. That's a proper demonstration of this anyway. The code says mathematically it has going for 100 pennies has a 60 to 70% chance. On this particular one, it's probably more about a 70% chance. Not that there's anything special with this trade, just this particular macro code. There's nothing real special about this trade at all. Except for it did go straight up, so it did look very bullish. Okay, I'm attempting to read the code. Let's get a direction. Pausing the video for a moment. Okay, let's go see what the previous high is. See if this thing is going to go break it. It's at 65, 104.65. So it's not that far from 65 now. Attempting to read the code. This is the secret code. So what I want to do now is obviously I have a position right here. And I've written it up now. And now it's here. Now I want to know, what does the code say? The macro code says it's good for 100 pennies, so I'm holding for 100 pennies. But can I get more confirmation of that? Like before, I had two confirmations. I had one macro code saying it's going to go up. I had one secret code saying it's going to go up. Now I'm looking to see, will I get another secret code saying it's going to go up? That would be 3 of them. That's exactly what I'm looking for. I don't expect it to say it's going to go down. I expect it to say it's going to go up. Why? Because the macro code overrides, is more powerful. So even if the secret code were to say it was going to go down now, I wouldn't change my position. I would just hold my break-even position. Because the macro code overrides the secret code. That is one of the benefits of knowing the macro code. You know those trends that it keeps going into? And you keep taking the reversal only to see it go into trend? With the macro code, that won't happen. You know why? Because you'll already be in the trend. You'll already be in the trend to begin with. Okay, I am reading the secret code. Stand by. Okay, I have a buy signal. Buy signal at 45. If you could get in at 45 or even 46 or even 47, there's your 45. 45 is your entry. 45 is a buy signal according to the secret code. It's slipping a little bit here, but it's alright. It's not going to come down to my stop. And if you had a 45 entry, you'd only be 5 pennies down now. It's going to bounce right off of 40 here. No problem. Mathematics are very high. Good, strong signal. Good, strong signal. You'd want to buy right now if you hadn't bought. Okay, I am thinking about moving my stop. Okay, I am going to move my stop. 29, I'm modifying my stop to 104.09. 08, I mean. 104.08, applying it now. Okay, stop is at a range. It's bottoming down here right now. If you hadn't a bought, you'd want to buy right here. It's going to bounce really hard. We have a strong signal for the secret code. This thing is going to take off and go higher. The mathematics are 85% chance. And when I say go higher, I mean take off. Like go break this higher high, 104.65, and just zoom higher. That's what I mean. I don't mean go higher from my position. Okay, getting ready to adjust the stop again. Stop 104.08 back to 104.29. 104.29, applying the stop now. Okay, checking the code. Code looks very good, very strong. It is very strong. It is going to move higher. We now have 3 signals, macro code and 2 secret code, that this is going to move higher. It is the mathematics on this trade now for 100 pennies is at least 80%. No, well, take that back. It's at least 70%. How about that? It looks very good to me. It's about to turn around and start to move higher in a big way. And from this point forward, it should instead of giving a buy signal, what it'll most likely do from here is it'll use the code and give sell signals but be in trend mode. That's what we want to see. And we're already in before the trend mode even happens. So while you're going for your 100 pennies, it's in trend mode that whole time. That's the secret of the macro code. You ready to start getting in on all the trends before they ever even happen? teach you how. Pausing the video. Just in case this thing were to come down, let's go take a look at the bottom and see where the bottom's at, just so we know. The bottom is at 104.33. That's where the bottom came. So 104.33 is here. So my stop is right below that. So if it did go down, it would be good for it to hit my stop at this point. See that? And we have a very strong signal that this is going to go higher. But watch out. Watch out. Watch this thing pull a secondary entry and come down to here. Watch. It thinks it's being sneaky. All it's going to do is pull a secondary entry. Hold on. Stand by. Negative. I am pulling my stop again. Pulling the stop to 104.08. 104.08. Applying it now. Okay, stop is out of range again. 104.08. Attempting to read the code. Did that make a new bottom? Let's go take a look. It did. It made it bottom down to 32. Right there at 32. Okay, that's still above my stop area. Reading the code. The code is still indicating it's going to go up, and it is strong. It is very strong. Well, watch this secondary. Uh-oh. No. Nope. Where is my stop at? It's at 08. An entry would be right here at 20. So it's a matter of whether I want to write it down to here or not. 21. It would bounce right off of that. My entry is at 28. So there's not really much to work with there. It's probably not going to do it anyway. It's just going to, what it's going to do is it's going to turn direction and it's going to go higher. What it's doing is it's trying to fake as best it can to come down. And it's going to, soon the fake's going to be over with, and then it's going to take it up. But before it takes it up, it wants to fake as many people as possible first. And then it's off to the races. And if you know the secret code, and if you know the macro code, you could be doing what I'm doing. Okay, pausing the video for a little bit. I'll be back to update you. Okay, I am reading the code right now, and I have another signal saying it's going to go up. So, if it were to go down right now, it would be going against the code. And what it would be doing is being ready to stretch out. So, I wouldn't want to be in the trade at that point. I'd want to take another entry. So let me go ahead and place a break-even stop at 104.29. $104.29. Yeah, I don't like where it puts me on this chart, but I don't like the code. Applying the stop now. The stop supports that it's going to go down lower, so I want to get out of this trade. That's okay, because we're going to get a better entry, and this one is going to be the right one. I'm not sure where it's going to be at. It's hard to say. You know, 20, maybe lower. You never know. That's why I'd rather just get out, just in case it does take a dive. So I've got to stop at break even. We'll see what happens. It's possible it could just stay above my stop. It's possible. I mean, we are making like a low here, right? So it's possible I could avoid this. And if it doesn't, it goes lower. Definitely want to get out anyway. Pausing the video, I'll be back. It's going for the low here, and I'm not going to pull the stop because the mathematics are too high that it's going to continue lower. I may have to get in at a worse price to chase it a little bit if it doesn't go down very much. But I would rather do that than stay in it and see this thing drop too much. Could dodge a bullet, but I'm not going to take the chance. Keeping the break-even stop out there. Trying to get a read on the code. I'm going to leave the video running, but turn the microphone off so that you can see the action, and you see if something happens and I get stopped, I'll come back online and show you what I'm going to do about it. For those of you that know the code, watch the code, and let's see how this plays out. And see how close it came. My stop is at 29. It went down to the bottom is 32. So it came pretty close. 29 came 3 pennies away. And now it's shooting up. Attempting to read the code. No signal yet. Buy signals are all still in place. No sell signals have come up yet. For those of you who know what the code is, you can see what is happening. It's setting up to begin its move. Attempting to read the code. If I can get a read on it here. it can break higher here, it's going to break into trend mode is what's going to happen. Okay, I have no real signal except for all buy signals now. So it is ready to move up. I'm just going to keep 100 pennies exit on it. I'm going to go to bed here shortly. Pause the video, be back one more time before I let it go overnight and come back in the morning. Pausing the video now. The high is 65. If it breaks that, it's likely to really shoot up. See if it does. Of course, the macro code says it's going to go, for 100 pennies. So you've got that telling you it's going to go. Plus, I'm using the secret code right now. I can't tell if it's going to break yet or not, but it looks good for that so far. Yeah, it's jumpy. You see, it jumped up there to 64. The chances are high it's going to break. Of course, you see the 10-minute. And the 1 minute. That line right there is this right here. And it's just going to go break that. Pausing the video. Here comes the break. It looks like it's going to be a strong one too. Like it's just going to shoot higher. Like 30 pennies or so. There it goes. Let's see how much it really wants to run. My exit is at 105.28. So it's got a ways to go before it gets there. A little break and fake. $69 is the break. Chances of a break coming are very high. 85%. 70 is now the high. It's playing a little coy here, like it acting as if it doesn't really want to go up very much. It should change and all of a sudden shoot higher. It may play a few fakes first. Gotta make it look good. Gotta make it look good. It's gotta be convincing. For instance, right now, if you're looking at it, and you don't know any better, kind of looks like maybe it's the top. It's going to start coming down. See? See it coming down? 68, 67. Try to get you to short before it just takes it higher. Might be able to make my exit pretty quickly. I mean, I'm way up here, but be surprised how fast I could make it up there once it breaks. See, now it is coming down. Now you should be shorting it. Should be shorting it, right? It's coming down. It's coming down. Well, there's one thing that they don't know that I know and that you're going to know. And that is the macro code. Pausing the video. Okay, just going to get one more read here on the secret code. And then I'm going to go to sleep. I have a buy entry here at 59. Or, wasn't it at 59? Yeah, I mean, I'd be trying to get in now. I mean, if you could get in here at 60, like maybe press 60, yeah, 60, 61, trying to get in. Buy entry using the secret code at 60, let's say. So I've had nothing but buy entries, no sell entries whatsoever, all buy entries, including the macro code, which overrides, is more powerful than any of them, but they're all in agreement with each other. My stop is at break even. My exit is up here at 105.28. Just going to leave it for a nice 100 pennies. And I'm going to go to bed now because I'm not going to stay up and watch this any longer. But the mathematical chances of it hitting my exit are probably a good 70%. Especially with all the secret codes I'm getting telling me that it's going to go higher. That's why it's so nice to have that as a guide, so to speak. But even if you didn't stay up to watch it, you just took the initial entry and then turned your back on it, still has a high percentage chance of making it, just because of the nature of what kind of a trade this is, a macro code trade. So, pausing the video, be back tomorrow, show you the outcome of the trade. Pausing the video now. It is now Wednesday, March 9th, 2011. As you can see, the trade was successful for the 100 pennies. Looks like it went up to 105.90. My exit was at 105.28, which was right about here. So, macro code was correct for 100 pennies. I wouldn't have made the 200 pennies if I had gone for it, but I did make the 100 pennies. Again, 100 pennies is a high mathematical success trade. That's why 100 pennies is standard what you go for, unless you really think you can get 200. So that's it. That's the conclusion of this trade and of this video, and I will be back with more videos to demonstrate both the secret code and the macro code. Macro code videos are coming soon. So, I will talk with you later.